right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, game number 2 coming at you here. Solaire Club versus Team Grief. You're in this best of the 3, of course. Solaire Club, hope 1 game to nothing. And again, just a really impressive and solid performance by these guys. So Team Grief, no doubt, understandably, if they have a good amount of fans here, looking rooting for them to move on. Obviously, some big player names. Super KG, Haxrin, definitely just to name a few. I mean, really, their whole lineup, obviously, big name players. But Solaire Club, a team that's been around the scene now for a little bit here recently, the team together, and they've shown that they can compete with the best of the best. So deserving their first game victory there. See if they can close it out, or game number 3 is upon us. But once again, joined by Snooey here as my co-caster. So taking a look at the initial bans, and the biggest things you pointed out were they may want to ban some respect heroes here, and well, Midas and Behemoth both taken out by Chioli. So I think they respected those heroes.
It's safe to say so, yes. I mean, you're free to make a mistake once, but if you make the same mistake twice, then you should begin asking questions. So Team Grief, yeah, definitely showing that they learned their lesson, and they are starting fresh here in game number 2.
Now, as far as pickups to follow, Moira ends up being the second pick for the Hellborn team. Even getting a little further there, but anyways, picked up by them. But Warbeast was the first pick, though, left open into a Doctor. Chipper into that Moira. And then there's Ravener against Solaire Club. They like to run Ravener, so can't be too surprised to see that here. But
it's good versus the Doctor Repulsor as well. Hit that lightning ball, and there's no escaping.
Yeah, it's true.
I wonder what Suicide hero that Hellborn team is looking to run now, because Ravener is probably the most scary things for Suicide players, simply because of that lightning ball ability. I mean, if that's a Valk Suicide, if he gets hit by the lightning ball, he's 100% dead. So it's quite risky to run these kind of heroes. Preferably, you would want to run something like a Warbeast that can actually pull the lane back, or Kinesis, something like that, or maybe something a little bit more tanky even, that doesn't necessarily rely too much on a escape spell like that Courageous Leap of a Valk.
Okay. Yeah, again, if that ends up being a Suicide Valkyrie, but with them already having a Doctor Repulsor, you would think that it could be pretty likely here. That would be the case.
Unless they are picking up on some new 7,000 yard range on the arrow and just run him dead and throw them in both directions.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? True. Probably not going to see that.
Support Valk? Secondary support? Roaming around, throwing arrows? No.
That wouldn't be out of the question, especially with that change now. That could be something. I could see that. I could see that, but...
Probably not in this game, though. It's too much on the line right now for these two teams.
No.
So probably going to see quite standard drafts, I would assume.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for Team Grief being down 1-0 here. So want to make sure they have a lineup that they're comfortable with and going to work with that. There's the Master of Arms. Now, again, I don't know why he's not being classified as a hero that didn't really get a full rework, because, to be frank, he got quite the rework. He really did with his abilities. Of course, he now has that cheetah mode instead of whatever it was called before. So, yeah, he kind of got changed all over the place. We did get to see him on Thursday. I think Solaire Club actually was the team that ran him. Yeah, they ran him a couple times. So they seem to be somewhat comfortable with this hero and these changes. What do you think of the changes, though, to Master?
I don't necessarily think they are that big, as you pointed them out to be. I mean, they swapped places on the ultimate. The shield is now on the blue, and the attack speed is now on the red.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes sense, because when you switch over to the red, I mean, you shoot faster, so it makes more sense that, the attack speed and the movement speed buff and all that should be in red as well. I'm not sure if that's to avoid confusion for new players and all that kind of stuff, but in the end it makes sense. And then, that red, instead of pushing an opponent away from you, you immobilize them for a few seconds instead.
Well, I think the biggest change, actually, it was what you got to have in my coach. He actually pointed this out to me, that his charge shot ability, or overcharge shot now it's called, it's 800 range on that now. That's a lot of range. It used to be, I think 400 before, or 500. So it got buffed quite a bit.
It's going to help him out, but especially in those dual lanes. But looking at the Hellborn team, I mean, it's still going to be the same. It's kind of like an Andromeda Comet in a way. It's very easy to disjoint or to react to it and escape before it actually hits you. So I don't think it's going to change too much in the long run, but definitely, I mean, small buffs here and there.
The final pick engineer, so we mentioned that a little bit earlier on. We get to see this new engineer with the mines especially, so that should be pretty fun. seeing what
That's true.
impact he has here. But it also, is that going to be a jungle war beast though? Do we think, or will it be a secondary support master? And will they
offensive
2-2-1?
tri-lane?
Or even that? Yeah.
I don't know at this point. I mean, it could be a farming war beast at the same time. I mean, the battle cry would synergize very well with Master of Arms and just Shipper if they were on solo lanes, but I mean, there's really no other option for a suicide lane in that case. It would be Shipper suicide. So I think it's leaning towards the tri lane almost. Master of Arms, I mean, as we mentioned, Overcharge shot got increased range, so it's easier now to run in those kind of like dual tri lanes, but I don't know, Ravenor, usually an engineer especially, not the kind of hero that you want to man up with. You usually want to have him stationed in the dual mid. We'll have to see and wait and see what happens. This is definitely nothing that you can say for sure, just looking at the draft.
Yeah. I mean, look at who's playing what? Super KGE actually playing the Valkyrie in the end. Right here. Again, with them picking up Pharaoh as well, so that means he's more likely going to be in that suicide role, wherever that may end up, really. And they're going to kind of farm with the Valkyrie as well as the Doctor instead. So yeah, it's going to be a secondary support Magnus. Okay.
I like this though. Or normally I don't like secondary support Magnus, but as long as they run offensive tri-lanes, then it's always a great tool to have. Because of that Steam Bath and the Lava Surge, it just makes him impossible to catch. And of course, a solid stun with the Lava Surge followed by the Shards of Harkon on Valk, which by the way synergizes very well with her leap because you can just put it on to Valk, she leaps in and immediately stuns your target.
That's true, yeah. Good synergy right there. So you see that Team Grief apparently hasn't had the best run with Magnus. Only 3 games, but 0-3 with it. So going to try to change that that result right here. But yeah, Magnus tends to usually be a significant hero. Of course, I'm pretty sure he's the most played hero, and actually even by quite a bit on the scene. So one that we just see all the time. Going through the jungle right here, they're going to have pretty much good freedom as far as maybe blocking some camps or whatever they wish. But he's number 1 by nearly 100 games. Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. How one hero is number 1 played by nearly 100 games. That's, God, Magnus.
It's just in that kind of like phase right now that he's not like you don't want to waste a blind ban on top of him.
True.
But he's like one of those top tier picks, and because of his diversity, being able to be run as a carry, semi-carry, or not necessarily carry, but initiator, secondary support, even heavy support, and being able to run in all 3 lanes just makes him very viable.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, scene here, not the best so far for Team Grief, but they need that win here to force the 3rd game and stay alive.
Yeah. Did the Legion team spot the Hellborn team going for an offensive tri-lane, or why did they suddenly change up their minds?
Huh. I don't know.
Now it's going to be a battle.
Uh-oh, here we go. Shards of Harkon. It goes off right there, but if they catch him, there's that trash on the right. Oh, the arrow misses. That was so close to maybe hitting Engineer, but now Moira's in trouble. Ravener chasing down. Moira going to cut through the trees. That's a good chance by her to get away. But another Shards of Harkon. She runs back in to make sure to get the stun up, but no, Magnus light stun. He's going to try to get killed by the neutral creeps in the meantime, and he will be successful with it. Beautiful play by Cheoli right there. Now, can the rest of them get away is the question. It looks like it. Man, that was big.
That was well played. Very nice patience by Masera as well on the Magnus, waiting until he got that Freeman Lava Surge off.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, if that was an old 3, then that neutral creep kill may not have happened. So, but you're right, though. I mean, so Solaire Club, they do transition eventually. So do you think they did this knowing that the tri-lane was down here because they wanted to match up against it?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. I would probably give the leading team an advantage. They just don't have the damage necessary at the Hellborn side to bring down any of the supports. Look at the defensive builds that have been going on. Oh, Magnus might be in trouble now.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, he missed the stun. They don't even care about him, though. They want to go for Moira instead. Oh, but the arrow comes out. There's the stun from Ravener. Follow up. The Kex are going to be just in range, and the fun auto attacks. The Bloodlust kill is successful in favor right here of Solaire Club, as they kind of push them back further as well. In fact, they're going to really box them out here as well. So, yeah, Magnus, you can't miss those stuns, especially in a tri-lane versus tri-lane.
Nope. I liked how the Legion team is addressing this tri-lane. I mean, just 3 minor totems in both supports and even a ring on Engineer this early on. It just makes it impossible for the Hellborn team to pick any of them off. Actually, now when I think of it, it was probably because the War Beast Wolves must have scouted the offensive tri lane, and they wanted to be positioned versus it, so that's why they swapped lanes initially.
Well, so far it's working out for them, and actually, once again, here we go. The arrow, it is going to connect this time. An Engineer 2.2 second stun. He has enough time, though, puts the turret down, slowing them down, pushing them back. Engineer, though, not going to be enough to live, but will it set up some counter kills, the question. Chasing back on Amora. The shards are hard con. He gets it off, but he does die in the process. However, Master of Arms also going to fall, and now Ravenor's in a funky spot. Oh, man, good job with the hatchet. Wasn't for the hatchet, he probably wasn't getting away himself. So, as you would expect, though, Tri versus Tri lane is bringing us plenty of action. I haven't even looked at the other lanes yet, for good reason.
Yeah, both those two kills came down to a little bit of rookie mistakes, though, I feel, from SolC Club. They haven't, or the big difference was the mana batteries. The Hellborn team picked up the mana batteries instantly as soon as they knew for a fact that they were versus a Tri lane. The Legion team still haven't. So, I mean, the mana and the health that that provided just allowed them to get 2 free kills.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened if the Legion team did the same.
It's definitely a very impactful item to have in a Tri versus Tri lane setup. So we'll see if the Legion team picks up on that or not, but for the time being, no doubt that's an advantage for Team Grief. Double damage rune picked up by Magnus. Now, he doesn't have enough mana just yet for Lava Surge, and I don't think, the mana bread wouldn't give him enough either.
He needs 2 more spells to be used, I think, at this point. But that's easily happened. I mean, Engineer is going to use his keg and his steam turret early on into the fight, so just be patient and you're going to get the stun off.
Now, I wanted to actually talk about this real quickly, too. Well, speaking of Engineer, obviously he got that change to his mines. He can now throw the mines. Could you have seen a scenario where that might have been better to get over the turret, or even like a 1-1-1 build, or do you think this still makes sense?
If you're looking to, only if you're looking to block the camps in enemy forest early on.
Okay. Oh, actually, we do see a jump, though, onto the side on Amora. Once again, the Shards of Harkon doing some work, though. Ravener, he is getting low as a result. Call the Valkyrie, not going to be enough for the final auto attack, Will. And he ends up falling, and now Engineer, he's in a lot of trouble. He does not have a keg stun coming up for another 4 seconds. Do the Shards, though. It will stun him first. Valkyrie going to cut him off. Has a call to Valkyrie right there. Auto attack to finish him. Super KG with a double tap through it all. So this Tri lane really working out for the Hellborn team. Magnus did die in the process, of course, but it is seems like Team Grief has gained total control now.
Oh yeah, they're just outplaying the Legion team at this point, but it still comes down to the freaking mana battery. They still haven't picked them up, and I mean, as long as BMG is taking advantage of that, which of course they will. I don't know. I mean, Legion team, they got a superior Tri lane, I feel, but because of that one item for 200 gold, they're just not being able to pull through.
Yeah. I will say Ravener is still leading the GPM charts, actually, even despite that death. He comes back in and manages about 340 gold per minute, so that's where it's definitely good news here for SolC Club somehow, Ganondorf, but now he's going to be boxed out pretty heavily. I understand, but let's take a look at the other lanes, though. We really haven't touched on them just yet, so believe it or not, there are other lanes happening here. Magnus, by the way, he's hiding in the middle. Wants to try to set up here, maybe with a level 6 Pharaoh. Yeah, he hits it right there, though, so this could be something, actually. Oh, Chipper knows. Chipper knows there's something up. He's trying to avoid it. It's not going to happen, though. It's very difficult. And they're going to go on him. Good timing. Even Mora comes in just to make sure. But, yeah, good setup right there. And there was really no chance for Chipper.
No, love to see this. It's just, as long as you capitalize on this, I mean, that's exactly what you should do every single game. Every single time you hit that level 6 mark, you should communicate with your teammates and just set up for that kill. Because as we saw, I mean, there was no way that Chipper can do anything about that. Even though if he knows for a fact that Magnus is there, I mean, he can't predict when Pharaoh is going to hit that level 6 mark. So, yeah, beautifully played by them. Nice rotations coming out. They just have to be careful to not let Ravenor back into the game here at the bot lane.
Mm-hmm. So, Veiled Rod actually on the bottom lane. Master of Arms trying to be sneaky with that. Magnus will stun, and Ravener was pretty much like, go on me, but now he takes a 5-second arrow, so I don't know if that was the best decision. As he's still taking some good damage, he barely will be able to walk away at the last second, but it just was way too late. So, yeah, very ballsy decision right there that does not pay off at all, and this is starting to snowball now for this Hellborn team. Super KG, another double tap. He is 5-0-1. He only has 13 creep kills, but the 5 hero kills is really doing work here, and that's now another kill onto Ravener as well. So, SolC Club changes need to happen because, you know, as I keep wanting to talk about, not only Chipper with the death there hurts him too, falls behind, but War Beast also isn't having that great of a time at the top lane either. So really nothing's happening positive anymore for this Legion side.
Nope, and there we go, and you get another pick off.
Yeah, Pharaoh moves and gets a kill. Pharaoh proved to be a pretty big pickup here.
Yeah, I like this. I'm surprised that we don't see it more. I mean, Pharaoh being run in something different than the suicide role, because he's got a lot of impact in the early levels if he gets those solo levels.
Well, we're mentioning and praising Solaire Club on their just execution last game and how well it was, but clearly Team Grief maybe getting tired of hearing that too, because they just really turned it up another level here in Game 2 and making a big time statement. Because right now at 3,500 gold lead and experience lead at nearly 8 minutes into the game, you even see what the ladies do. They have 4 players down here now, even Chipper's here, trying to catch
They're
that.
feeling desperate. Yeah, they know for a fact that if they don't get kills, if they can't get this Ravenor to snowball, there's no way that Ravenor, or I mean that the War Beast is going to carry them through this. It's going to be all about the Ravenor.
Yeah.
Oh, Monster Forms, by the way, in a very sneaky position.
I mean, he is, but God, it's like if they know he's here, he is so screwed. Are they going to see him? No, they guess they can't see him.
I would assume that was in vision, but I guess not.
Yeah, no, now they see him, but that's because they're going in. Valkyrie, quick burst. No chance to survive. Magnus does counterstun, though. Dr. Impulsor flies in. The chainsaws are down as Pharaoh joins the party on top of that. Ravener, he will barely survive. Doctor couldn't chase him down because of the lack of mana right there, actually. But the Wrath of the Pharaoh securing the kill. Double tap for Labyrinth, and he wants more. He has a mummy wall. Is going to be able to use it right here, kind of catch him in it. Magnus stun as well. That was kind of a funky connection. And a hat-trick comes out, but Chipper's not done just yet. He ends up getting the kill on a Magnus, but at what cost for him? He's going to fall right there. And a 4th kill on top of it all. Let's go, says Macera. He is ready. And 12-5 hero kill lead now in favor of Team Grief. So, action, 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 baby.
Yeah, definitely a different attitude from Team Grief in this second game. They just got so frustrated from the first one that they just wanted to go for an offensive trial, and so far, I mean, their hearts are truly in it, and they're just paying off big time, taking the leading team by surprise. But I also have to mention that, I mean, this doesn't necessarily feel like a regular Solaire Club draft. The defensive trialing, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that's, well, again, the defensive trial, now they did send it aggressive initially. They did send it to the top lane. But as you were stating, and it seemed like early on it was for the better that they wanted a matchup actually against Solaire Club, so or against Team Grief, excuse me. So that's where they transitioned, making sure that they did in the short lane. So yeah, I guess I don't know if I necessarily would call it like a true defensive trial lane. It was
yeah, that's true.
Had the intentions of maybe being aggressive, but yeah, it just kind of worked out that way. But clearly hasn't paid off here.
I'm used to seeing Noob on a 4-0. That's like
yeah.
thing. I don't usually see him on this kind of secondary support. But yeah, that tri lane, I mean, I still like where Solaire Club, like the attitude that they have or the draft behind it, the idea behind it, but it just came down to that mana battery. That was all it was all about. They just snowballed from there. They just couldn't get the free kills onto the more random Magnus anymore.
Well, you see Pharaoh, actually. He's actually been leading the way now for a little bit, 390 gold per minute. So Pharaoh's one of these interesting heroes. That, it's not the biggest. It's not like, oh, man, Pharaoh's snowballing. We're going to be really worried. But, hey, being able to get some early on farm here and some nice items as a result, pretty good news. And looks like actually barbed armor going to be his item choice early on in the game with the broadsword that I saw him purchase there. And I don't know. How do you feel? Because I feel like, especially with this start that he has, I feel like it's almost a waste of a choice.
I agree. At least get a Mystic Vestment first, before building into the Barbed.
Okay.
To become a little bit more tanky. I mean, if he just soaks up, or I mean, with those Steam Boots and a Mystic, he would be close to unkillable unless he were to eat all the shipper rockets in the face. So, yeah, not necessarily a big fan of this, no.
Ravener, he's going to be gone to the bottom. I mean, literally, he could not move the whole time. The lockdown is just way too much between Valkyrie, Moira, and Magnus. If you're by yourself especially, there's zero chance of getting away. So the execution continues from Team Grief. And that is yet another kill onto this Ravener. So, I mean, we're only 12 minutes into the game, but I would not be surprised if Solaire Club's just looking at that clock and perhaps thinking about the third game even because, again, nothing is really going at all for them. And, yeah, this is even something else. Ravener and Warbeast are both heroes you usually want to get Abyssal Skull in. And it looks like that they're both going Abyssal Skull, by the way. As actually, nice kill on a Pharaoh there in the middle lane from Chipper, so that's good news, but...
Mystic Investment hype.
Yeah. Might want one of those. But what do you think, though? Both of them going an Abyssal Skull.
That's probably not optimal. It certainly fits both heroes very, very well, but at this point, especially seeing as they are going to be boxed out or playing very defensive and close by each other, I don't think it's the best. But what else can you really go on to Ravenor at this point? I mean, you can rush the Portal Key, but without the Abyssal Skull, you're not really going to deal any damage.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that, actually. I mean, I think it's all right in the end.
I think that comes down to the draft choices in general. I mean, because you're right, they both are heroes that it's just such a good item on naturally. So it's hard to say that it's bad that they're both going it, but it still is kind of funky. And again, that's where it goes back to the draft. Is like, well, was it the best to maybe draft these two heroes together in the end? So it is what it is. Like I said, they got the middle kill on the Pharaoh, and they're going to try for something else right here even. In fact, Master of Arms, he comes out. Dr. Repulsor. Quick burst onto him. He cannot fly away in time. Barbed Armor's up from Pharaoh. I don't know if it's going to do enough, though. It's not going to keep them off necessarily, and he does go down. And again, that kind of goes back to the Barbed Armor idea where, well, I was more so on the idea that it's Barbed Armor's good, but I feel like it's a waste early in the game because they're not doing a whole lot of damage here on the Legion side just yet. And you figure that it's what, 2,200 gold? Maybe could have, I think like a tablet almost would have been better.
The 5-second arrow in the mid, by the way.
Did he hit it? He did. He's running in.
He's not going
but
to
he
be
can't
enough.
get there in time. He has to check the whole way, but he couldn't make it. So another example of that, why it's not the
No,
biggest
but
skill.
I agree with what you're saying. And I agree 100%. It's just barbed armor. I mean, it's not that kind of early game item. Not this early on. I mean, if you're farming almost 400 GPM, which Labyrinth was on this Pharaoh, you don't go for a defensive item like that. Especially when there's not even a hard carry on the Legion side. At this point, at least. It might transition into a hard carry later on, but then you can pick up the barbed armor when that time comes.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to push this middle lane. You got Valkyrie here as well. I think Valkyrie just bought a Warp Cleft, by the way, so Super KG going on Thunderclaw, of course, too. Icon being worked on Haxer in here. So that's the progression we're seeing here on this Hellborn side. But the lead has definitely died down. So my comment earlier about looking at that clock going on, I mean, they've actually calmed it down here quite a bit. So not necessarily thinking about conceding and definitely sticking in here, and as they should. I mean, they've definitely kind of climbed back in slowly but surely. Hell, Chipper's level 11. The fact that they have that is pretty good news. Also, you know, looking at over 300 gold per minute, so possible portal key for him in the near future, whatever item he follows up with.
Tablet.
Yeah, okay. Tablet over portal key?
100% sure.
Tablet.
Tablet. It's versus a Pharaoh, so there's
Yeah.
really no reason for why he shouldn't go. Oh, the arrow! Oh, never mind. That was for some reason I thought a Pharaoh was actually in danger, but he's on the same team.
Well, Pharaoh is going to finish off Warbeast, who is ulti form trying to run away right there.
More illusion is blocking them. They can't get out.
They can't. That's funny. Oh, wow. Look at this, by the way. So Ravener, he actually doesn't go the Abyssal Skull. He goes a Whispering Helm instead. Oh, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh.
a good replacement?
That's alright. Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as the Abyssal Skull, but it's not the worst.
Yeah.
Same. Oh, initiation in the mid.
Yep, Arcane Vortex will stall them. Do they have a setup, though? Not really. The Wrath of the Pharaoh's not ready for Pharaoh, so they are going to be able to get away. If he had an ulti up, of course, that would have been a kill right there, but yeah, just used it at the top lane. So all 5 end up here in the meantime for Team Grief. And now they're going to be pushing that middle tower down with ease.
And portal key on Magnus as well. Not level 11 yet, so his ultimate's not necessarily going to be too scary. But as long as he got that initiation, solid stun with the Lava Surge, it's still going to be a valuable tool.
Got bottom lane. Engineer's kind of pushing it out. Look at the Engineer, by the way. 1,800 gold saved up.
Yeah,
On
level
second.
9. I mean,
Yeah.
Noob is actually doing a really good job finding those level and at farm.
As I say that, though,
Caster's curse.
Yeah, I think Team Grief also realized that too at the same time. They're like, wait a second. He's farming bottom by himself, pushing into the tower. We should probably do something about that. And that they do. So nearly everyone joins the party there and gets the kill. So that'll slow down, I would guess, what was going to be a portal key follow-up here. From Engineer
Mystic
now.
Vestment, hype. Just gonna mention it again. Like, nobody on the Airborne team got Mystic. And I mean, even Ravenor is a magic damage carry, more or less. I mean, there's no reason why not to pick this item up.
Teams are forgetting the basics, man.
It's gotta be that.
The auras. It's like, what is going on here? It's important stuff. They're just passing up on. Dr. Invis, he's looking for a chance here at the top lane, but both Warbeast and Master of Arms quickly falling back. And it looks like they will both be fine as a result.
Rock, get this up in 1 second. Oh, close one.
Ooh. Just before he poured it out. Triple stack Ancients, though. Warbeast, Chipper, and Engineer are here, and even Master of Arms. So everyone joining the party. They goose down. Some nice minus armor they get from that. I don't know. I mean, this game is continuing on here, and what was feeling like just to be a snowball for Team Grief, it's actually feeling like now Solaire Club, you know,
they're back in business for sure.
Definitely back in business, yeah. And as far as late game carry goes, I know again there's a lot of factors that come into play, but this is a pretty scary team into the mid to late game, especially for Solaire Club. So I
think the main point or the main trouble for Solaire Club is going to be this Dr. Pulsar. It's just going to be so hard to lock him down. Same goes with Valk and Magnus. I mean, even if they can get one of those, like Valk or Doctor, I mean, the other one is still going to be freely roaming around or flying around, dealing tons of damage. And they just don't have that lockdown. I mean, they got a short shot from Master of Arms, but it's easy to disjoint. Engineer Kick, same thing goes there. Lightning Ball from Ravenor, sure, he can pick up a pull key, but it's still going to be very limited as an initiation tool. And therefore, I just feel like the longer the game progresses, even if it's looking good right now, I just don't see them putting on that aggressive face.
Master of Arms gets caught, by the way, as well as Warbeast, so a couple of pickoffs right there in favor of Team Grief. And yeah, you're just talking about that. I mean, it starts with Dr. Pulsar, but this whole team, really, they just have a lot of catch potential. And that's something that they'll have to continue to deal with. Speaking of that, the bottom lane, Valkyrie's down here, actually. She's the one that's in trouble. She'll leap over them, though, gets the block of the creep wave. Beautiful play. And he dodged the arrow. In fact, he's going to stand his ground. He wants to go for a turn kill. The arrow is going to miss. But he has that backup. Energy field put down with that portal key. Runs right through it, though. Doctor off to the side. He finds Chipper. And that mana center is going to burn all the mana. And now Chipper's trying to run away. Not going to happen, though. Portal key magnet. So Valkyrie buys enough time for the team to come over and clean them up. And just as we're trying to give some hope here and some good chance for Solaire Club, it's, once again, Team Grief just closes that out. And now they're pushing bottom here. Yeah, the catch is just so strong here on their side. That's proven to be big.
Lockdown so poor for Legion, unfortunately. Usually when you want to draft a Warbeast, you want to have something like a Kelp Field, like a Bubbles, to just lock them all down, or a solid Lava Surge stun from Magnus, hitting multiple targets, but this Legion team really doesn't. So Warbeast, is, even if he gets a lot of farm, he's not going to be able to produce too much.
And so, you know, again, I was even going to bring this up before he did it, but knowing Haxran, he was going to go the Life Brand into a Grimoire here on Dr. Pulsar, and sure enough, Life Brand's being delivered. He's going to have a Grimoire power as his next follow-up. And I don't know if I get it, if it makes a lot of sense, especially seeing you have a Valkyrie that also is going somewhat farm-heavy build. But, hey, they have a comfortable lead here, just getting even further ahead, so not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
No, I guess it's personal preference. I mean, some players just seem to prefer this option over the health power.
That's the case here with Axerin. So, Conqueror's going to fall. He'll have a token of life. They try to get a jump onto somebody. Master of Arms, maybe. Yep, Magnus gets the stun. There's the follower from Pharaoh. And boom goes the dynamite. As he is no longer there. So, good catch on him. And yeah, especially with Dr. Pulsar having that token of life here. I'd be surprised to see Team Grief really work off of that now. How's Ravenor been progressing? He's only 240 gold. No, that's Warbeast. 300 gold per minute. Okay. He does have the portal key here with the Whispering Helm now, but top lane Engineer though. You just see they're moving as a team.
Coordination is from game number 1. This is definitely not the same Solera Club.
No. But again, a
They're
different
tilted.
Team Grief, really. Like, they're playing pretty well themselves, so.
Yeah, not showing any demoralization from the first game whatsoever. Just, I mean, starting fresh. I mean, we saw it as well. I mean, with those solid blind bans in the draft, Behemoth and Midas, they definitely realized their mistakes and gonna think twice before they make the same one again.
Yeah. Just getting that out. Yeah, Chipper, I mean, Justman actually did a pretty decent job early on and was going to be the shining star for the team in essence, but obviously he's kind of tapered off. I mean, he was level 11 a while ago, and now he's just level 12, so it kind of shows you how much things have really tapered off for him and this Legion team as a whole. Uh-oh, Ravenor's found. Yep, look at the 3 heroes all of a sudden just on top of him, and he's dead just like that, so what can you do, right? What can you do? That'll happen.
Not too much at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, this is once again being that kind of look towards the clock thing, but it's already past 50 minutes, so...
They have the option if they want. Well, last time we said that, they did start to come back, so we'll see if it's a trend here or not, but yeah, it seems like this time around especially, it's a little bit more of a actual point than not.
Yeah, if they want to have a chance at all in this game, they really need to like get the communication going and just work together as a team. Focus on one thing. You can't be doing everything. You can't be farming all over the map, running around the engineer at the top, and then you have monster farms, 2 supports on different lanes. I mean, you need to go as a group. Try to get pickups, go for a Veiled Rot gank, something like that. Secure your forest. I don't care what it is, as long as you guys do it as a team and you get the goal going.
See, pushing the top tower in, Dr. Repulsor, he's leading the way with that. They're trying to bait out Magnus, actually. That's an illusion Magnus. So they're going to try to make them think that this is the real deal, and he's just kind of setting up. This could actually be really interesting how this works out. So Solera Club, they are going to jump on a Dr. Repulsor. Energy field goes down, but Dr. flies right through it, and the bait was real. Magnus comes in, but he jumped into the energy field. Not the greatest right there. However, it might not matter. He gets pushed out, couldn't survive. They just clean them up. What a bait right there for the Hellborn side. And they get the tower kill. And GG, well played, will be called. So good game indeed. And man, both teams really making statements here in their games. And now we got a game 3 to decide which team's going to move on.
What a turn of tides, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like the exact opposite from game number 1. This time it's Team Grief showing some very impressive plays. Not sure if it comes down to them underestimating Solera Club or just giving them their core heroes in game number 1, but yeah, to both teams definitely showing that they want to qualify or move on to the next round to play BMG tomorrow.
Yeah, Bad Monkey game.